victims of hatred and white supremacy, which has ruined and ended the lives of way too many of our people. Their church was bombed one Sunday morning by white supremacists as a response to the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, which was led by Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and Bayard Rustin. 30 years later, two sisters named Janie Gaines and Sarah Cox of one of the girls, who was named Addie Mae Collins, walked through the Greenwood Cemetery in Birmingham, Alabama. They frowned as they surveyed the crumbling headstones, trash, and tangled weeds strangling the cemetery. Although most Americans do not recognize the name of Addie Mae Collins, her sisters never forgot her. Dr. King eulogized Addie Mae Collins, and her tombstone reads, "She died so that freedom might live." Although Addie Mae Collins passed from this life to the next, our fight for freedom is not dead yet. As the sisters saw how neglected the tombstone of their sister looked, they arranged to have her body moved to a better kept cemetery. Sadly, when workers opened the grave of Addie Mae Collins, the casket and corpse was missing. No one knows what happened to the body. All that we know is that it is gone. I imagine the terror that these two women felt when they went to the tombstone of their sister was the same terror that these women felt when they went to the tomb and saw that Jesus was not there. I submit that there are many things that place terror in the black community today. The terror that these women felt is the same terror we feel when black men see each other as enemies rather than brothers. Church, is terrifying when the black family is supposed to be our strongest unit, but instead is becoming one of the weakest. It's terrifying when black fathers are in jail and in court, but not in the child's home. It's terrifying when we pray for something to happen and the opposite of what we prayed for comes to pass. It's terrifying when you give someone the shirt off your back, and while you taking your shirt off, they stab you in the back. The life that we lead is terrifying when we search for God and it seems that He is not there. I don't know about you, but I would not want to live in a world where God was missing. Just think about it. How would the sun come up? How would the rivers flow? How would the moon glow? How would the birds sing? How would our days start? Who would make a way for us? Who would give our lives purpose? It's a bad feeling to think about life without God being there. That's why we ought to be able to understand the terror that these women felt when they went to the tomb and Jesus was not there. But if God was not there in our lives, we probably would still be in the cotton fields from sun up to sundown. We would probably still have our heads down in the presence of white folk. We probably would still be called boy and girl and never Mr. and Mrs. But I'm so glad that Jesus is not dead yet. When we call on Him, He can help us. When we call on Him, He can encourage us to change this evil, low-down, and messed up society. But Jesus can change it because Jesus is not dead yet. But to our text, two followers of Jesus went to the tomb to prepare the body of Jesus for burial. They brought with them what they needed in order to honor Jesus. I would like to ask, when we come into God's presence, when we come into His church, do we bring what we need in order to honor Jesus? Do we come expecting to hear a word, or do we come to see what other people have on? Do we come to sing His praises, or do we come to stir up mess? Do we come to be a witness, or do we come just to get out of the house? We often come in God's presence ready to lift Him up above all else. But a little little bit about these women that came to the tomb of Jesus. They were a part of a makeshift family. They were not related to Jesus by blood, but they were related to him by faith. Those who were a part of Jesus' makeshift family were those who were spiritually alive. But according to the social science commentary of the Synoptic Gospel, the family in this time was the basic image of social identity and cohesion. In the North African and Middle Eastern world, the extended family meant everything. It was not only the source of one's status in the community, but it also functioned as the primary economic, religious, educational, and social network. Loss of connection to your family meant a loss of connection to everything. So loss of family was the most serious loss that anyone could sustain. But this makeshift family that Jesus had could serve the same functions that a biological family could, which is the same today. Your family might not be that close. You may not think you come from a good family, but it's always good for you to have a church family. This is important because some people who were cut out from their family were basically left to die. So those who were lepers and cut off from society, those who were disabled, and those women who were widows with no sons, those people were among the most neglected and pushed away from society. But when Jesus came and touched these people and allowed them to be a part of his family, he restored them. The situation may have been so unfortunate that it made them feel like they were dead, but God came through and showed them that they were not dead. I came to Campbell Chapel to tell somebody, I know they talked about you, but you ain't dead yet. I know they tried to set you up, but you ain't dead yet. I know they lied on you, but you ain't dead yet. I know they underestimated you, but you ain't dead yet. I know you feel like nobody cares, but you ain't dead yet. Touch somebody and say, thank God I'm not dead yet. But I want us to understand what it meant for the women to run across an empty tomb. An empty tomb means more than many of us realize. Not only was the body of Jesus missing, but because the women were the ones who found it the way it was, they were the ones who would have to account for what happened. Lord have mercy. There was an ordinance during this time passed by Caesar which said that anyone who passed along the news that a tomb had been robbed or tampered with, the suspects would be put on trial, and if found guilty, they would be put to death. This provides a dilemma because although the women did not defile the body of Jesus, they were not supposed to be at the tomb. But they went there to anoint Jesus because they didn't get a chance to give him a proper burial because Jesus was crucified. Yet they were the ones who were at the scene of an empty tomb. You may not know this, but people who were crucified did not get special treatment after they were killed. Usually those who were crucified, their bodies were left for the dogs and the vultures to come and eat their remains. Last month, the Lord blessed me with the opportunity to meet a lady from Mississippi named Sabrina. Sabrina was in a similar situation of the women who ran up on Jesus at the tomb. One night, Sabrina went for a job and left her baby in an apartment while the child was asleep. Now, this wasn't the smartest thing to do, but this is what she did. When she returned, Sabrina discovered her child was no longer breathing. So she panicked and tried to resuscitate the baby, which ended up making it look like she did something foul to the baby. Sabrina was arrested and even placed on death row after being charged with capital murder. However, Sabrina appealed her conviction. By the grace of God, Sabrina was released. Later, it was proven that Sabrina did not kill her child because later, after Sabrina had another child, it was discovered that her child had the same kidney illness that her youngest child had. It proved that Sabrina did not kill her child. And Sabrina is out, and Sabrina is off death row. Can't nobody tell me that God can't make miracles happen. Our sister Sabrina can stand up today and tell the world that although she was falsely accused, she is not dead. But back to our text. The women going to the tomb of Jesus should show us how much these women loved Jesus and how highly they thought about him. Because they risked not only their safety, but their freedom to go see about the body of their Savior. The resurrection of Jesus provided a risk for his disciples. And when I say disciples, I'm not talking about the folk that we read about in the book of Luke. I'm talking about the folks sitting in the seats in Campbell Chapel. When Jesus overcame the crucifixion, when he overcame the tomb, he provided us a risk to take. We have a risk to believe that God can bring newness out of what is old. You may say, Pastor Young, what do you mean by this? I'm glad you asked. The old order of evil winning over good. The old order of the bad folks always beating the good folks. The old order of the powerful overpowering the weak was finished when Jesus overcame them. When Jesus showed that he was not dead yet, he was also showing us that despite how dead we may feel, God can still give us life. Jesus shows us that even when it looks like it's over, there is still room for us to believe. There is still a risk for us to take. Even when death seems like it has the last word, Jesus is saying, I am not dead yet. He's saying, be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. When he said that, all he was saying was, pick your head up, child. Your Savior can still save because I am not dead yet. But the women were at peace when they remembered what Jesus had said. That ought to help somebody, because when life makes us forget who is in control, we have to remember the words that Jesus spoke. What he said should be the foundation of how we live. Because Jesus is a living Savior, he provides us with a living word. In the book of John, Jesus said to us, but the advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all the things and will remind you of everything I have said to you. Jesus said, peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. Do not let your hearts be troubled and be not afraid. They thought he was dead until they remembered his words. But when we look at his action in our lives, we can see that Jesus is not dead yet. Through the storm, through the rain, through heartache, sickness and pain, God said he would be with me. God said he would be with me. He said he would. He said he would. He said he would. You don't know how you gonna pay your bills. Remember, Jesus ain't dead yet. When you get laid off of the job, remember, Jesus ain't dead yet. When you get in something you just can't get out of, remember, Jesus ain't dead yet.